What is going on, everybody? Guys, the crypto market is a little bit crazy and it follows the stock markets every once in a while. And if you, like me, were looking for information today on YouTube, you might have run across a 30-minute long rambling rant by Bitboy Crypto, whatever the guy's name is, where he just goes into issues. Silicon Valley Bank was having a run on their withdrawals because they had mentioned they were having some difficulties and that they had liquidated some futures that they should not have needed to liquidate in their bonds holdings in order to satisfy some withdrawal requests. Now, that, of course, caused a whole lot of people to get nervous, and that caused a run on what was going on. So that caused, on Friday morning, California's FDIC division, the DFPI, California Division of Financial Protection Innovation, took over Silicon Valley Bank and then handed it over to the FDIC. Remembering, of course, that there's a $250,000 limit on the accounts. People think, okay, well, everything's going to be kind of okay, but only 2.7% of deposits there are less than $250,000. So who is Silicon Valley Bank? Well, it turns out it's one of the largest organizations in banking for commercial banking, and their failure is the second largest failure that we've ever really seen. Now, to get an idea of how extreme this is, a bubble map to make it easy for crypto. Washington Mutual was the biggest at $307 billion. Silicon Valley Bank is $209 billion. This is the second largest banking collapse that this country has ever seen. Now, that creates a big problem, and that leads us back over here to this meeting. Now, companies are not going to be able to make their payroll in Silicon Valley and tech industries, and that this is going to be catastrophic. So the FDIC has an emergency meeting to discuss the collapse of the bank, and word starts leaking out that something might happen. Now, in the meantime, Jeremy Allaire, Circle, which is a stable coin in cryptocurrency, had $3.5 billion, which ended up being trapped in Silicon Valley Bank during this collapse. They say that they are fine, but that did not stop a run on USDC. USDC is now trading at 97 cents, but at one point over the last couple of days, it was down to 88 cents. Today, it had a low of 95 cents, but over the 7 days over here, you can see it did dip down into this 88 range for a cup of coffee. And that, of course, started a mad streak of, could we be witnessing one of the biggest failures in cryptocurrency happening all over again? So that sparked a lot of fear, sparked a lot of problems with people. And of course, here we are. Right now, let's move forward just a little bit. He issues a statement that says, hey, listen, we're fully collateralized. We have no issues. We have no concerns. We're going to get this $3.5 billion back. We did this on Thursday, not on Friday when the FDIC came in and took over. So our transfer will go through on Monday, or at least based on the way FDIC operates, we're going to get our money on Monday. So we have nothing to fear. But even if that doesn't happen, we still have enough funds. We're matched 1-to-1. But we have reserves. Everything is going to be fine here. The TLDR here says, while USDC can be used 24/7, 365 on chain, issuance and redemption is constrained by the working hours of the US banking system. Coinbase, everybody who's a major centralized exchange, shut off cashing USDC out for USD for the weekend. So USDC liquidity operations will resume as normal when banks open on Monday in the United States. As a practical matter, our teams are well prepared to handle significant volume. They're assuming you're going to cash out at this point. Building on the strong liquidity and reserve assets discussed below, as a regulated payment token, USDC will remain redeemable 1-for-1 with the US dollars. Now that fixes a little bit of the fear, but then that also creates, hey, this has become an opportunity, because there's a lot of people who have bought in at these levels, and they're buying and they're accumulating USDC at this point, and they are doing massive amounts. Now, let's move back here real quick. We're going to collapse this and say everything is fine, but we do have this breaking story. The Fed and the FDIC are now discussing a backstop to make SVP depositors whole and stem the contagion fears. And what is being said right now is that Silicon Valley Bank is liquid enough that 50% of the money could be done today, and that they would get the entire amount. Every investor would get the entire amount back within 3 to 6 months. That what we're seeing as bad and as a collapse, it's not a $200 billion collapse. It's just a failure to meet withdrawals. So that puts us in a better hold for the moment. Now, let's move forward. When this happens, we start hearing rumors. The Fed should pause and revisit rate hikes later, says Farr Miller and Washington's Michael Farr. Now, remember, we're at a moment right now where there's bank runs getting ready to happen because of all the stuff happening. Well, if the Fed moves in and they pause a rate hike, which we're expected to get 50 basis points, a lot of people are saying 25, but I do believe it's going to be 50. If that happens, that pauses it, the markets are going to go absolutely parabolic because people are going to be super excited because it's going to look like things are happening that are good, even if we see some hot inflation data, which I fully expect we're going to see. Now, this is the scoop of scoops right now. Federal authorities are weighing safeguarding all SVB deposits per 3 sources would require finding broad risk to financial sector. They need regulatory approval. This is not final, but this does mean that they are basically willing to fix this problem. The Fed is going to step in. I, for the record, am opposed to the Fed stepping in any way. That this should be done with private industry, because if we have one less large bank, then that just means that the remaining large banks just become even more in control than they currently are. And we do know that they are well in control. But let's move on just a little bit here and say this is what's happened on USD trading over the weekend. Jump Trading deposited 169 million into USDC. Wintermute Trading deposited 2.7 million, and then 25 million USDC to Coinbase, because guess what? It's about to get there. These people are buying USDC at these lower prices, knowing full well that they're going to make money, and they're going to make massive amounts of money. We're going to get down here. Vitalik Buterin exchanged 500 ETH for 400,000 USDC and 27,179 DAI. Why? Because anybody could take 7%. Because let's face it, $400,000, if you're making 7% gain, or if you're making a 12% gain, that is a significant amount of money for you to make in a very, very short time if you have the resources in which to do it. Justin Sun exchanged 127 million USDC for 126.96 million DAI, and he did this when it was still at $1, capitalizing on it when the DAI went down over here to make this trade. Now, Justin Sun has also, moving forward, minted 400 million USDC because Justin Sun is about to buy something massive. We don't know yet what it is. We are watching the wallet to wait and see what it is, because once that goes through, somebody is going to get absolutely parabolically sent. To summarize, Circle is fine. The rest of the market is a little bit nervous, and there's going to be a run on banks tomorrow, especially smaller banks. This is not great for the industry, but it is what's getting ready to happen. Now, in the meantime, let's go over and look at what happened to cryptocurrency in the meantime. And you can see right here that there is an absolute sending happening right now in the cryptocurrency market. Last night, this is the day chart, by the way. If I go to the 1 hours, you're going to start seeing some just enormous moves here. From 877, we are now at 960. It was at 965 just a few moments ago. It's at 961 billion right now. Just in the last 2 hours, $40 billion worth of capital has re-entered the crypto market with, I want to say, most probably when we look over here, a lot of it is coming into, there's $10 billion in volume coming into USDC at this point, because that's where people look. This is easy money. If you have anything right now, USDC is going to be easy money. Now, there are some tokens which we're not going to talk about, but there are some tokens that are going to be able to capitalize on this. And when this thing gets made whole on USDC and starts to balance itself out, you're going to start to see a run on a lot of tokens. You can see here on my chart right here, Bitcoin right here is 21,686. Bitcoin right here is 21,200. So make what you will of it. There's going to be a lot of movement in the market on Monday. Ethereum is now going out of its mind. Ethereum, by the way, has now re-entered our previous zone. If you look right here. Now, this zone I've had coming out here for a long period of time, it just re-entered. So that's how crazy what's going on in the market is. What's not going crazy anymore, Bone has fallen off the map, gone way down in the last few hours, started to move back in the newer direction because the Shibarium beta has launched. But what did I say was going to happen? I told you what would happen. I'm hoping that you listened to me when I said this. It wasn't financial advice. It was my opinion. But I did say that SHIB would start to pump because people would start to dump their Bone and move it back over into SHIB, because that's where the burn is going to happen. And they're going to want to be situated in the appropriate layer so that they're going to be at the bottom of what is going to be a significant run by SHIB. And we're starting to see not the run, but we're seeing the layering in happening right now. Then when you come down here broadly across the market, then you just see normal pumps moving around. Okay. So what I'm going to do is say to you, you should be mindful right now of the total crypto market cap. You should be looking at Bitcoin to USD pairing to see what they look like. Now, we removed, by the way, we did have a little channel in here. We've removed it, but we're back in that channel as well, by the way. And that channel is highlighted by this bottom move right here, 21,005, with a top move up here in the 22,007. So there is a lot of relief rally coming right now for crypto. So we're going to be paying attention to it. If you look over here, by the way, you can see that the MACD money inflows have just started to go even greener. And this crossover here on the signal line from the RSI is also starting to pump. So guys, there's significant stuff happening in the markets right now. So I hope that summarized a lot of what you were looking for and a lot of the questions that you had so far. I did jump around a little bit. I tried not to, but you can't help yourself when you have so much going on right now. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit the like button, hit the bell to be notified. Leave a comment down below, and we will talk to you again very, very soon.
I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to go there with me, girl. I'm looking